And so far for best of ones for Zest, he's 9-8 and 3-4 against Protoss. And that's something that you vote against Zest on. You'll get to say, well, when you played against Billowy, you just did a weird build when you could have just beat him straight up. Why did you do that? Yeah. You lost that game. And he's made like some really critical Protoss versus Protoss best of one mistakes. And I feel like you want to vote for Super, you're really not voting for Super, but you're actually voting against Zest. And because Zest just won a PvP finals, and he's showed great PvP before that, the week before, just the days before, in more recent matches, I feel like you can't vote against him. And there's no way to vote for Super here. He's not quite there.
Yeah, this is Super. I mean, he's got decent stats in PvP, 4-2, definitely doing very well here. Probably the best player that MVP has. He's 9-6 so far in total. And even the Korean casters who go mostly off of stats, if not only off of stats, are voting for Zest here.
Yeah, indeed. I just spilled water all over the floor, Brennan. Hopefully neither of us get electrocuted as we go into this Protoss versus Protoss on Outboxer.
LTA는 SK텔레콤.
Up here in the top left on Outboxer in the red, it is Zest.
To the bottom right in the blue for MVP, it's Super.
Those are some quick intro timings there.
Yeah.
They're like, it's Zest.
Well, some of the matches we've seen from Super and Protoss versus Protoss are like super technical, right? He's been, no pun intended.
Okay.
I just want to make that clear. He's been in games where he's cannon rushed, he's 2-gate proxied, he's 1-gate proxied. He's done super crazy, proxy Blinkstalker, proxy DTs. He's played a late game every now and then. He throws it in there. But Zest is the player who just knows how to engage in the late game. And from a build order perspective, I feel like his only weakness is that he might die by attacking and trying to do like a timing himself. And because I think he's had enough Protoss versus Protoss where he's failed these in a best of ones, I think he's just not going to do that.
I mean, you mentioned the game against Billowy. I think that's the perfect example where Billowy, he went for a 3 gates versus the first guy he played in a PvP, and then they sent out Zest, and Zest did like some weird kind of proxy Oracle build, and Billowy was just like, okay, I'll just be aggressive. And Zest, we both felt like in that game, if he just played his standard game, he played a little bit safe, went for the late game, and did his style well, and didn't just try to do this weird build. He could have pulled it off, but if he goes for this weird kind of build that just can be countered like that pretty easily, then he can definitely lose in a best of one in PvP.
Yeah, I think so. It's all about how he chooses to play it, right? And we're going to find out in just a moment just how that is today. So, gates are finished. Core is planted for Zest.
Yeah, going to be out here a little bit faster.
Not significantly.
A little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Now let's see, once that core is finished, what these two are going to do. They're both scouting pretty early here. Super getting the faster scout, but missing like 1 or 2 mineral trips as a result. Maybe even 3 or 4 at that point. And Island goes down here to the right side. For Zest, might be thinking of hiding a Stargate over there, possibly Twilight Council. And Super is just going to lurk around until a ranged unit chases him away.
Yeah, just being annoying on those minerals as well.
Both going for a sentry. This is becoming a new trend to see that fast chrono boosted sentry for the fast scout.
Yeah, I liked it. We saw it a lot in the global tournaments. Zest versus Parting in that finals, best of 7. Went to game 7. I think we saw it at least 5 of those games. At least one player going for that fast sentry. You know, it's good, it's range, it's going to push out the probe, and it's also going to get you that hallucination you were talking about.
And I mean, if you have that faster force field sometimes that can be really important too. Not always. Okay, fast Nexus, and I think I might actually just see this from both. And this is absolutely going to be everyone's favorite type of Protoss versus Protoss to watch, where nobody attacks each other and we sit back and wait.
Yeah. Definitely going to be their favorite one. Well, there's going to be a bit of downtime here, to be honest. You know, it's very hard. We could talk about this again in Protoss vs. Protoss to kind of do this attack into the other guy's base, because you got to walk all the way across the map. You got the Mothership Core with the Time Warps, but most importantly, the Photon Overcharge, which can be very, very good defensively.
Well, you know, I talk about this all the time, but all Protoss units are strong against Protoss units. You look at the unit, the Zealot, okay, it costs only 100 minerals, but it's actually going to beat a Stalker if the Stalker can't move. So if you're microing something else, the Zealot close distance will beat your Stalker. But if you've got more Stalkers than the Zealots, then you micro that around. Now, Stalkers are actually much better at killing Stalkers, but they're really good at killing them. They kill them fast, they do bonus to armor.
Yeah. Well, look at this. Zest is going to hallucinate an Oracle right now, and he's going to come in and see everything. He's going to get the scalp, but most importantly, he has a follow-up Oracle on the way.
Yeah. They are, as far as I can tell, actually,
well,
both going Oracles, right?
Did he cancel that, actually, when he saw the Stargate? He's going to throw down another Stargate.
Yeah, well, this is going to be Air Wars here. This is going to be a preview to what we're going to see next game on Maze.
Yeah, Zest actually canceled that Oracle right when it was about to finish, and instead just tried to Chrono Boost out of Phoenix here, because he's going to defend against this Oracle now, and he's going to have 2 Stargates.
Well, this is going to do nothing. This, at least it's not as bad as the Stork Oracle. Let's try to forget that.
Rest
Oracle.
in peace.
Rest in peace. The Stork Oracle, rest in peace.
Oh, and then the second one comes over. It's just like, ah.
He tags him at least.
No, he did the best he could. Free Oracle there for Zest. He was able to get the hallucination faster to the base of Super. You know, Zest is a little bit faster in everything in this game. Even getting the Nexus faster, the Sentry faster.
Super is trying to transition pretty quick into robotics tech. Twilight Council Forge. Zest is like, I think he's having a bit of indecision here. He's like, wait a minute, okay, so you're not gonna commit to the air? Well, then I probably shouldn't really commit that much right now either. But I have these 4 Phoenixes. I need to do some harassment with them. He needs to do some harassment with them. And because he's behind in every other way. His +1 is late. His robotics is late. Twilight Council as well. Now going over here, doing it underneath the overcharge, but Phoenix is a lot of hit points more than you might think, and are going to be able to tank that.
Surprisingly withstanding, especially to the overcharge. And now, like you were talking about, not making any more Phoenixes. He's going to throw down 2 more gateways here. We're going to start Immortals and the +1. Even though it's going to be behind, there's only going to be a very, very small gap in that +1 timing there.
No, I mean, these Phoenixes continuing to do a little bit of damage, but I actually like Super's position a lot. He's going into fast Archons too, which is going to help him out a lot. And against a Phoenix composition, if you go Archons quickly, the Phoenixes aren't really able to help that. And look at this double Stargate, just totally useless now. Maybe useful later on. So what Zest is going to have to do is try to get to that point if he wants to make those Stargates useful for double Tempest production, maybe. Void Rays that he ends up choosing to go into. But
This game has been, it's been funny so far because both players like responding immediately to what the other player is doing. So Zest comes in with the hallucination, sees the Stargate, and sees the Oracle, and he immediately switches into Phoenixes, throws out another Stargate, and then Super immediately responds, stops making Phoenixes, transitions into getting all of these different techs out faster than Zest. And now Zest is like, he responds to that, he stops making Phoenixes, and now he's trying to catch up.
Well, this isn't going to be a great catch if he can hit that probe. Nope, not happening. That is unlucky. That is unfortunate.
Yeah.
That's
bad timing.
Really stinks.
Oh, if he can catch a High Templar here.
Maybe. Nope.
Oh, nice there by Super. Able to get 2 feedbacks down even before morphing them into the Archons.
If you're looking at your High Templar, they're always going to win that fight, but it's pretty scary still to leave High Templar around like that. Players are getting better and better at it. Never, ever, ever, ever saw players try to use High Templar against Phoenixes and Wings of Liberty, but it's becoming more commonplace nowadays. I feel like the level of play has gone up so massively since Wings of Liberty, the Heart of the Swarm, all these Kessel players switching and how many hours they're practicing in that team environment they have. We have really seen like this explosion of skill and growth in Korea especially.
Yeah, and a lot of different styles coming out as well in the different matchups, especially with balance patches coming out. You even see it in TVP. A lot more Widowmine usage in that matchup as well.
Well, third base here very late for Zest. And his tech in the charge department is like a little bit faster. His forge upgrades are about the same.
He was able to come even in the +2, which, you know, we talked about before wasn't really going to be that big of an issue because the timing was so small. But it looks like he used a little bit more chrono boost on his +2 there.
Immortal counts are even. And, well, they're about to be with that third Immortal coming out here for Super. But right now he doesn't have it just yet. Can eliminate those Immortals from the army with his Phoenixes, but they're not going to last too long because they're several of them very low on hit points. They only have 50 shields. Most of their actual life comes from their hit points, not the shields. So if you look at that red there, it's not like, well, he's got a lot of shields behind that. No, he really doesn't. He's only got 50. So at best. And he's going to attack this location. He's got a much larger Zealot count here. The Archon count's the same. These Phoenixes, are they really going to be the game changer here with the Nexus Cannon? I'm not so sure Zest really should commit into this.
It's tough to say. If he saw the numbers, maybe, but you know, it's just so close, and it's not good at that defensive position there for Super. If Zest wants to attack into that.
He's going to come over here instead. Now he's going to funnel into 2 different choke points. Not sure about this one. Yeah, well, let's see. The Time Warps are basically perfect. On the other hand, picks up that Immortal, gets a Stalker as well, and he's targeting quite nicely here. And Super's army just collapses. Those Time Warps were game-changing, and that is actually how you die in about 4 seconds in Protoss versus Protoss.
That was
the end.
That
GG.
was the battle. And you know what? I feel like the overcharge was a mistake, like a bit of a panic move out of Super there. He did not have the Time Warps for the fight, and the Time Warps did so well for Zest. And just having like one more army in it there. GG. Zest is going to take it at PvP.
Protoss versus Protoss, something he's played a lot of recently. He is all about making sure he's got his jersey when he leaves the booth. Never one to leave it on the chair.
Don't leave it on the chair, man.
Always taking it out. Whether he's going to the bathroom, whether he just wants to get some fresh air, he's always going to bring it.
Yeah, you got to take care of your team wear.
Take care of that.
You don't want to just leave it on the back of the chair. Don't lose its form.
Don't just throw it on the floor when you get back to the team house. I want you to hang it up nicely, put it on the hanger,